Every night, a small habit may be stealing your deepest sleep. Those bathroom wake-ups quietly drain focus, mood, and next-day energy, raising the risk of ongoing sleep fragmentation. Stay with me for a simple, natural plan to calm the bladder and reclaim real rest. I'm going to start with a simple truth that changed my nights. I didn't have a small bladder. I had trained my bladder to wake me up. Tiny choices, an extra refill of diet soda at dinner, a tall iced coffee during the commute home, a can of sparkling water while streaming a show, taught my body to interrupt the very stage of sleep that restores memory, mood, and energy. Tonight I'll show you how to undo that training, safely and without extremes. And because practical tools matter, there's a special bonus waiting at the end of this series, a straightforward 24-hour, bladder-friendly day plan, plus one extra technique to boost your results. Let's set the stage in plain language. Deep sleep is when your brain does heavy maintenance. It's quieter on the surface, but underneath it's sorting memories, stabilizing mood, and recalibrating hormones that influence hunger and stress. When the bladder sends a "get up now" signal, even for a quick trip, your brain has to climb out of the deepest part to answer the call. You might fall back asleep, but the scaffolding of the night gets rattled. Do that more than once, and you may notice a next-day fog that coffee doesn't fully fix. Here's the twist most people miss. Many overnight awakenings are not from a truly full bladder. They're from an irritated or over-attentive bladder. Carbonation, acidity, spicy sauces, alcohol, and residual caffeine can make the bladder lining more sensitive. Pair that with a late flood of fluids, and you've built the perfect alarm clock, one that rings from the inside. My goal is to help you dial down that alarm and protect the deep stages of sleep. We'll do this with clear, non-extreme steps you can adapt to your lifestyle in the US or anywhere else. If you enjoy pizza with marinara, buffalo wings, chocolate desserts, club soda, or a late happy hour drink, I'm not here to shame those habits. I'm here to show you how timing and small swaps can protect your nights. Start with a hydration rhythm that works with your body instead of against it. Front-load the majority of your fluids earlier in the day. Think of your first 2 meals as your hydration window. A simple target is getting most of your water in before mid-afternoon. Then taper. After sunset, choose still water in modest amounts and avoid turning hydration into an evening project. The common mistake is trying to catch up after dinner. That's like doing all your laundry at midnight and wondering why the machines keep you awake. Create a gentle evening boundary for liquids. Pick a time approximately 90 minutes before bed for your last larger drink. After that, sip only if you're genuinely thirsty. Pair this with a 2-stop bathroom routine. One relaxed visit about 45-60 minutes before bed, then a calm, unhurried visit right before you lie down. This removes the "what if I need to go later" anxiety loop that drives many of us to keep sipping and keep checking. Watch for common bladder irritants that hide in normal American evenings. Sparkling waters and seltzers feel light, but can nudge sensitivity. Citrus slices, tomato-heavy dinners, hot sauces, chocolate, and alcohol, all favorites, may make the bladder more reactive near bedtime. None of these are universal villains, but many people sleep better when they enjoy them earlier in the day. If you're experimenting, try moving these items to lunch for 1 week and notice what happens. Address the urge itself with a calm body signal. When a mild need to urinate appears right as you're winding down, pause for 60 seconds. Sit tall, unclench your jaw, and breathe slowly. 4 seconds in through the nose, a gentle 6-second exhale through pursed lips. 3 rounds. Often the urge softens. If it doesn't, go, but go once. Training the brain to expect 3 or 4 just-in-case trips teaches it to wake you again in an hour. One confident visit is a better teacher. Replace late stimulants with steadying rituals. That second cup of decaf after dinner can still contain a few milligrams of caffeine, enough to nudge the bladder and your arousal system. Switch to a naturally caffeine-free option and favor warm, non-acidic choices in small amounts. If you love the sparkle of seltzer, enjoy it with lunch and choose still water in the evening. If dessert feels incomplete without chocolate, bring a square into the afternoon and enjoy fruit later at night. Keep perspective and stay safe. Nighttime urination can have several causes, including medications and health conditions. If your awakenings are frequent, painful, new, or accompanied by other symptoms, reach out to a qualified clinician for evaluation. The steps here are general wellness strategies, not medical treatment. The purpose is to help you make thoughtful changes while you monitor how you feel. Before we move on, here's a quick checklist to put into action tonight. Front-load fluids during the day. Set a last large drink boundary about 90 minutes before bed. Choose still water after sunset. Make a single, confident pre-bed bathroom visit. Shift common irritants, citrus, tomato sauces, spicy foods, chocolate, alcohol, and carbonated drinks earlier in the day. And replace evening stimulants with a calming routine. It's simple, but simple is often powerful. Remember, a special bonus is coming later. A 24-hour, bladder-friendly day plan, plus an extra technique to multiply the benefits. Put tonight's steps into practice, track how many times you wake up, and you'll start to see patterns you can change without drastic measures. The next tip is among the most important. Skipping it won't just limit your results, it may also lead to unintended side effects if you overcompensate later. Keep this in mind as we continue. Now that small evening choices are on your radar, let's look under the hood at why they matter so much. Deep sleep doesn't just happen. Your brain and bladder coordinate a quiet night through timing signals. One of those signals is a hormone that helps you make less urine overnight. When evening routines work with that signal, you drift through long stretches of restorative sleep. When habits fight against it, late caffeine, alcohol close to bedtime, spicy or acidic dinners, or a stack of sparkling waters, the bladder gets jumpy and the brain becomes a lighter sleeper, ready to wake at the slightest nudge. Think of deep sleep like a theater with acts. The early cycles are where the heavy lifting happens for tissue repair and memory consolidation. Each interruption forces the stage lights up. Even if the actors resume the scene, the flow gets choppy. 2 brief awakenings can be enough to leave you groggy, less focused, and more likely to crave sugary snacks the next day. That's not a moral failing. It's biology tugging on the steering wheel when the night's script gets rewritten. Several common evening choices in the U.S. quietly rewrite that script. Caffeine has a long tail. That iced coffee grabbed at 5 p.m. can still be active hours later, and even decaf contains small amounts that matter for sensitive sleepers. Alcohol feels like a sedative at first, but it reduces the signal that helps you make less urine and fragments the second half of the night. Tomato-heavy pizza, hot wing sauces, and citrus desserts can irritate the bladder lining in some people. Carbonated drinks, club soda, seltzers, diet sodas, add gas and acidity that some bladders interpret as urgency. None of these are forbidden. The trick is shifting timing and portion so your internal signals stay calm. Here's a practical way to align your biology with your bedtime. Pick a caffeine cutoff and stick to it for 1 week. Many people do well with early afternoon as the boundary. If you enjoy chocolate, bring it to lunch. If happy hour is part of your social life, aim for an earlier window and match each drink with still water during the event, not at home before bed. If you're a fan of fizzy beverages, enjoy them with your midday meal and move to still water after early evening. Use your favorite sparkling water as a reward for a midday break instead of a nightcap. Your sleep takes the win, and you still get the ritual. A word about the bladder's learning curve. When you make repeated just-in-case trips before lying down, you teach the bladder-brain partnership to anticipate another one later. It's like training a dog that action follows the cue. A better approach is a confident, unhurried stop right before bed, and then a calm response to minor urges. Try this. If a mild urge appears within the first 30 minutes of lying down, pause for a minute, unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders, and breathe slower than feels natural. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. If the sensation eases, stay put. If not, get up once, return, and let your body settle. The goal is to avoid turning bedtime into a loop of anxious checking. Some viewers worry, am I dehydrating if I don't drink a lot at night? The answer is to think 24 hours, not 24 minutes. Front-loading hydration earlier makes the night quieter without sacrificing overall intake. A steady stream through the morning and early afternoon supports energy and focus and sets you up for a calmer bladder after sunset. If you exercise in the evening, adjust by hydrating more in the late afternoon and then using small measured sips during and after your workout rather than a flood at 9 p.m. Consistency over drama wins here. Safety always comes first. Frequent nighttime urination can be influenced by medications, pelvic floor function, sleep apnea, and metabolic conditions. If awakenings are new, worsening, painful, or accompanied by other symptoms, consult a qualified clinician for a personalized assessment. The strategies here are educational and focused on habits. They are not a diagnosis or treatment plan. To help you translate this into action, here's a compact checklist you can start tonight. Set a caffeine cutoff in the early afternoon. Move alcohol earlier and pair it with still water during the occasion. Shift spicy, acidic, and chocolate-based foods to midday. Keep carbonated and artificially sweetened drinks for daytime. Choose a last larger drink boundary about 90 minutes before bed. Make one calm bathroom visit right before lights out. And use slow breathing to ride out minor urges. Track your wake-ups for a week and circle the combinations that give you the longest stretch of uninterrupted sleep. When these pieces line up, you'll notice mornings that feel steadier and evenings that don't revolve around the bathroom. That's the whole point, to help you act on what your body has been trying to tell you in a language you can use. Keep the changes realistic, observe your response, and refine. Good sleep is trainable when habits stop shouting over your built-in signals. The next tip is among the most important. Skipping it won't just limit your results. It may also lead to unintended side effects if you overcompensate later. Keep this in mind as we continue. You've already started shifting evening habits toward calmer nights, and that alone can change how your mornings feel. Now let's zoom in on the quiet culprits that seem harmless, but teach the bladder to behave like an alarm clock. The pattern is subtle, not always a ton of liquid, not always an obvious stimulant, just a set of polite choices that nudge sensitivity at exactly the wrong time. If you've ever finished a light dinner and still found yourself up at 2 a.m., this is where the mystery often lives. Begin with bubbles. Sparkling waters, seltzers, club soda, and even kombucha are part of many healthy routines. They feel refreshing, practically weightless, and they're everywhere, from office fridges to late-night streaming rituals. For some people, though, carbonation plus acidity can irritate the bladder lining and amplify the sensation of fullness even when volume is modest. That doesn't mean you need to ban fizz. It means your best sleep usually happens when fizzy drinks show up earlier in the day. A practical move is a fizz curfew. Enjoy your favorite seltzer at lunch, then switch to still water after early evening. Give it 1 week and circle the nights that stayed quiet. Next up is acidity you might not notice. Tomato-based sauces, citrus desserts, vinegar-forward dressings, and hot sauces make dinners exciting. In a typical North American evening, pizza with marinara, buffalo wings with a tangy glaze, a splash of lemon in water, flavor rides on acid. Some bladders interpret that as a reason to nudge you awake later. You don't have to give up your favorites. Try moving tomato-heavy or citrus-heavy meals to midday and using gentler evening options. Roasted vegetables with olive oil, yogurt-based sauces, or a mellow pesto. If you love a squeeze of lime in water, shift it to the afternoon and keep evenings simple. Chocolate and caffeine deserve a closer look. Decaf isn't caffeine-free, it's caffeine-reduced. For sensitive sleepers, the few milligrams remaining, paired with a naturally stimulating evening, can be enough to push arousal and bladder signaling. Chocolate carries small amounts of caffeine and compounds that can be stimulating for some people. A small square after dinner seems innocent, but many people sleep deeper when chocolate moves to lunch. Test it. Bring your chocolate moment into the early afternoon and see whether your first deep sleep stretch extends. Artificial sweeteners and diet habits can be tricky too. Diet sodas and sugar-free treats are common nightcaps because they feel light. Some people, however, notice more urgency when these sweeteners show up late. If this resonates, reframe them as daytime items. Keep a favorite diet soda for your midday break, not the couch. For evening sweets, choose small portions of less acidic, simply sweet foods. Baked apples, oatmeal with cinnamon, or a plain yogurt with berries, within a sensible portion and timing window. Spice brings joy, and it can also bring a wake-up call in sensitive bladders. Capsaicin, the heat in chili peppers, makes certain mucous membranes more reactive. That doesn't mean you need bland food. It means your kitchen can learn two gears, a bolder midday gear and a gentler evening gear. If you love wings, enjoy them for lunch and try a milder seasoning at night. You might notice your bladder getting less chatty long before bedtime. There's another source of irritation almost nobody talks about, the pattern of check, sip, check. It goes like this: finish dinner, sip sparkling water while watching a show, visit the bathroom just in case, notice a faint dryness, take another few sips, and check again before bed. The loop teaches the brain and bladder to anticipate action every 30-45 minutes. The fix is simple and kind. Decide on one calm, pre-bed bathroom visit and treat the rest as background noise unless your body is clearly signaling. Pair that decision with a slow breathing cue. Inhale through the nose for 4 seconds. Exhale gently for 6 for 3 rounds. Many minor urges will pass like a wave when you give them a minute. Because personalization matters, build a 7-day trigger map. Each night, jot down 3 quick notes. What you drank after 5 p.m., type and amount. What spicy, acidic items you ate after 5 p.m., and your number of awakenings. Don't judge, just record. Patterns appear fast. You might discover that one kombucha at 7 p.m. is loud, while a cup of still water at 9 p.m. is quiet. Or that marinara at dinner is fine if lunch was light on spice, but not on a day with lemonade. This map becomes your private guide for swaps that cost very little and return deep sleep. Make the swaps as friendly as possible so they stick. Trade club soda at night for chilled still water with a sprig of mint. Choose a creamy tahini dressing over sharp vinaigrettes for evening salads. If you want dessert, pick fruit earlier and save heavier chocolate desserts for a weekend lunch. If a ritual is hard to drop, like seltzer on the couch, move the ritual instead of the drink. Have your seltzer during an afternoon screen break and a decaf herbal infusion, naturally caffeine-free, in the evening. Keep amounts modest. Even helpful drinks in large volumes can push you out of deep sleep. As always, keep safety in view. Bladder irritation can have medical causes, and frequent or painful urination deserves a professional evaluation. The strategies here are educational and focus on everyday habits. If you're pregnant, managing a health condition, or taking medications, ask a qualified clinician how to personalize these choices for your situation. To summarize your action steps: set a fizzy drink curfew, move tomato and citrus-heavy meals earlier, relocate chocolate to lunch, keep any diet sodas for daytime, modulate evening spice to a gentler gear, break the check, sip, check loop with a single pre-bed bathroom visit and slow breathing, and keep a 7-day trigger map to spot your patterns. Small changes in timing and type can unlock longer, quieter stretches of deep sleep without extremes. The next tip is among the most important. Skipping it won't just limit your results. It may also lead to unintended side effects if you overcompensate later. Treat the coming guidance as a careful step to protect progress while keeping your routine safe and sustainable. With the sneaky triggers mapped out, it's time to stack the lever that quietly decides whether your bladder becomes a partner or a night watchman. Timing. Think of your daily fluids like sunlight. When you place most of them early, the body gets a clear daytime signal and settles more easily at night. When you push a heavy share into late evening, catching up after dinner, sipping while streaming, topping off just in case, you send a mixed message. The bladder listens to messages more than promises, and the message at night should be calm, predictable, and light. Start with a kind reframe. Hydration isn't an evening chore. It's a morning to afternoon rhythm. A simple, workable pattern is front-loading. Aim for the majority of your water between waking and mid-afternoon, pairing sips with meals and breaks. Many people feel better with a modest bump upon waking, steady intake through late morning, and a taper after lunch. The point isn't perfection. It's creating a curve that descends gently toward bedtime instead of spiking at 9 p.m. Because routines differ, use ranges instead of hard rules. If you enjoy a morning workout, hydrate before and during it, then return to your steady stream. If you train after work, shift more of your day's fluids to the late afternoon and use measured sips during the session, rather than a large bolus afterward. If you dine out, enjoy a glass of still water with the meal and keep refills modest, then let the evening coast. These are not restrictions, they're placements, moving the same total into friendlier time slots. Implement a simple, effective structure many people find helpful. A 90-30-15 glide path into sleep. About 90 minutes before bed, finish your last larger drink. Around 30 minutes before, make a calm, unhurried bathroom visit. During the final 15 minutes, avoid casual topping off. The glide path works because it removes guesswork and quiets anticipatory anxiety, a major driver of unnecessary check-ins. If a mild urge pops up during the first short window in bed, try a 1-minute reset. Jaw unclenched, shoulders soft, inhale through the nose for 4 seconds. Exhale gently for 3 rounds. If the urge persists, get up once and return without commentary. Training calm is training sleep. Stack this with what you've already learned about evening triggers. Choose still water after early evening. Save citrus, tomato-heavy sauces, spicy foods, chocolate, caffeine, and artificially sweetened drinks for earlier in the day, when your system is primed to handle stimulation. Keep total evening volume modest. Enough for comfort, not so much that your bladder has a reason to check in while deep sleep is under construction. Consider a warm, naturally caffeine-free infusion about an hour before bed as a ritual, not a flood. Small amounts matter here. A petite cup can soothe without sending you down the hallway at 2 a.m. Because the bladder is part muscle and part messenger, teach it steadiness with a simple drill. During the day, when a mild, non-urgent need to urinate appears, practice a brief series of quick pelvic floor contractions, sometimes called quick flicks. Akuchi, 2 to 3 gentle squeezes, each held for about 1 second, followed by relaxed breathing, can help the reflex settle. This is not a strength contest, it's a communication exercise. If you have pelvic floor concerns or any pain, seek individualized guidance from a qualified clinician. For many people, this small practice reduces the sense of emergency around minor urges at night. A week of consistent timing teaches your system faster than a month of inconsistent effort. To make that week easy, create a 24-hour rhythm on paper. Sketch wake time, meals, workouts, commute, and bedtime. Place your water near meals and daytime tasks. Schedule your fizz earlier if you enjoy it. Mark your 90-30-15 glide path with a highlighter. Now follow the map for 7 days, observing, not judging, how many awakenings you experience and how rested you feel. You're not chasing a perfect number. You're mapping cause and effect so you can keep what works. Handle special situations without abandoning the plan. For travel, drink water steadily during the day of the flight, keep carbonated drinks for earlier hours, and use a modest, warm, caffeine-free beverage in the evening at your destination to cue wind down. For a late dinner with friends, choose a lighter sauce and keep refills small. If you wake once to urinate, move calmly. Bathroom light low, no mirrors, no phone. The less novelty you add, the easier it is to slide back into deeper sleep. A quick word on safety. Nighttime urination can be influenced by medications, sleep apnea, prostate or pelvic floor changes, and metabolic conditions. If awakenings are new, frequent, painful, or worsening, seek professional evaluation. This guidance is educational and focuses on habits. It is not a substitute for care from a qualified clinician. To put everything into motion today, front-load your fluids through the first 2/3 of the day. Choose still water after early evening. Set the 90-30-15 glide path. Keep a small, caffeine-free, non-acidic evening ritual if you enjoy it. Practice 2 or 3 daytime quick flicks when urges are mild, and keep a simple log for 7 days. Small, consistent placements lead to a bladder that whispers at night while your brain does its deep work. When your timing supports your biology, you begin to wake with steadier energy and clearer focus. Evenings feel less like negotiations with the bathroom and more like a quiet ramp into sleep. Keep this structure flexible, be kind to yourself when life bends the schedule, and return to the glide path the next night. The next tip is among the most important. Skipping it won't just limit your results. It may also lead to unintended side effects if you overcompensate later. Treat it as a thoughtful safeguard to protect the progress you've built. Evenings can whisper you toward rest or slowly turn up the volume on your bladder. With timing on your side, the next lever is shaping a gentle nighttime routine that keeps signals quiet without making you feel restricted. The goal isn't a perfect diet, it's a calm finish. You'll see how small swaps, especially in common North American dinners and snacks, protect the deep stages of sleep you've been trying to reach. Start with the plate. If dinner usually leans spicy, acidic, or heavy in tomato sauces, adjust the flavor profile rather than the joy. Choose seasonings that are delicious but less provoking for some bladders at night. Roasted garlic and herbs instead of hot pepper. Pesto or olive oil-based sauces instead of marinara. Tahini or yogurt dressings instead of sharp vinaigrettes. A simple template many people find friendly is 1/2 mellow vegetables, zucchini, carrots, broccoli, green beans, 1/4 protein, fish, chicken, tofu, lentils if tolerated, and 1/4 slow carbs, quinoa, brown rice, sweet potato. The template isn't a rule. It's a quiet backdrop that keeps your system from chasing extremes as bedtime approaches. Now aim at common pitfalls that feel harmless, but often wake you later. Late chocolate, brownies, ice cream mix-ins, a square of dark chocolate with a decaf adds just enough stimulation to nudge both brain and bladder. Move chocolate earlier and choose a quiet dessert at night. Baked apple with cinnamon, oatmeal with a spoon of yogurt, a small portion of rice pudding. Fizzy drinks, La Croix, club soda, diet sodas, can make the bladder more chatty after sunset. If bubbles are part of your wind down, bring them to lunch and keep evenings still. Alcohol close to bedtime acts like an early sedative, but fragments the night and can increase urine production in the second half. Enjoy it earlier, match with still water during the occasion, and step back from topping off at home. Ritual matters as much as ingredients. Build a predictable, low-friction sequence. Dim lights after dinner. Wash the dishes and put a glass of still water on the counter. Take a brief sidewalk stroll or do gentle stretches. Set a 1-cup limit on evening beverages. A warm, naturally caffeine-free sip about an hour before bed if you enjoy it. One calm bathroom visit right before lying down. Then phone away. Phones and mirrors increase alertness and self-monitoring. Your bathroom can be a quiet path, not a wake-up station. If spicy food makes evening meals exciting, keep the experience by moving heat earlier. Wings and chili at lunch scratch the itch without the midnight echo. For dinner, try flavor layers that feel satisfying without the burn. Smoked paprika, rosemary, thyme, lemon-free herb rubs, sesame, or a spoon of pesto. If you love citrus brightness, fold it into your midday meals and let evenings rest on savory and herbal notes. Portioning helps the bladder as much as the stomach. Oversized dinners, common after long commutes or a late gym session, push your system to run hot when you want it cooling down. If you arrive home ravenous, place a small, steady snack 1 to 2 hours before you get home. A banana with peanut butter, a yogurt, or a handful of nuts. So dinner doesn't turn into a festival of refills. Then keep refills modest at the table. You're not depriving yourself. You're protecting the deep sleep architecture you've been rebuilding. A short, low-tech log turns guesswork into clarity. For 7 nights, write 3 lines. What you ate after 5 p.m., especially tomato, citrus, spice, chocolate. What you drank after 5 p.m., type and amount, and how many times you woke to urinate. You'll notice patterns fast. Maybe pizza nights are fine if you had still water and no dessert, but not with seltzer. Maybe tacos with a milder salsa are quiet, while a heavily vinegared slaw is loud. This is not about rules. It's about designing your own quiet evening. If you exercise after work, preserve your progress without sacrificing training. Hydrate earlier in the afternoon, sip measured amounts during the workout, and keep the post-workout drink modest. Choose a dinner that's supportive but calm. Grilled chicken or tofu, roasted vegetables, a small serving of rice or sweet potato, and a mellow sauce. Keep the celebratory fizzy water or beer for earlier in the day when possible. If that's not realistic, trim volume and keep the glide path into sleep intact. Travel and social events can be friendly to your bladder with simple placements. On a dinner out, ask for still water, limit refills, and choose dishes with lower acidity or milder spice. Salmon with vegetables, a grain bowl without spicy aioli, pasta with olive oil, and herbs instead of spicy marinara. If dessert is part of the ritual, split a portion and keep chocolate-heavy options for lunch on another day. When staying with friends or in hotels, pack herbal tea bags that are naturally caffeine-free and non-acidic. They create a familiar cue without adding volume or irritants. Safety stays at the center. Nighttime urination can reflect medications, pelvic floor changes, sleep apnea, or metabolic conditions. If your awakenings are new, frequent, painful, or worsening, seek qualified clinical guidance. The ideas here are educational and focused on everyday habits. Adjust portions and choices based on your health context, and don't push through discomfort to meet an ideal. Tonight's action plan is compact and doable. Set a 1-cup evening beverage limit after early evening. Place carbonated and artificially sweetened drinks at midday. Favor mellow sauces and non-acidic dressings with dinner. Pick a quiet dessert and move chocolate earlier. Keep a low-tech log for 7 nights, and make one calm. Confident bathroom visit right before bed with phones and mirrors out of the routine. These small levers are designed to be lived with, not just tried for a day. Consistency is your ally. Quiet evenings accumulate into quieter nights, which accumulate into brighter mornings. Hold the plan lightly, life will bend it, and then bring it back the next evening. The next tip is among the most important. Ignoring it won't just limit your results, it may also create unintended side effects if you try to compensate in the wrong way. Treat it as essential guidance to keep progress safe and sustainable. You've shifted triggers and mastered timing. Here's the centerpiece that ties calm evenings to deeper, steadier sleep. Pair an intelligent hydration curve with a small, non-irritating evening infusion and a simple 24-hour map that teaches your brain and bladder what to expect. The aim isn't perfection. It's a repeatable rhythm that quietly reverses the pattern of waking just as deep sleep begins. Start with the core idea in plain language. Your bladder learns from repetition. If nights are a mix of fizzy drinks, late chocolate, acidic sauces, and just-in-case sips, your brain begins to raise the internal volume right when you need it to hush. When you front-load fluids, taper after sunset, choose still water, keep a 1-cup boundary, and finish with a gentle infusion, the message becomes consistent. Nights are calm, signals are quiet, and deep sleep can unfold without interruptions. Let's build the evening infusion. It's not a magic potion. It's a soothing cue that is naturally caffeine-free and typically non-acidic. Keep the portion small, a cup, not a mug that belongs on a camping trip. Here's a practical preparation that many people find friendly. 1 tea bag of chamomile, or 1 teaspoon dried flowers. 1 teaspoon lemon balm, also called melissa or lemon verbena. Use the herb, not citrus. 1 teaspoon rooibos, naturally caffeine-free. 8 ounces, about 240-250 ml of hot water at roughly 90-95 degrees. Steep for 7-8 minutes, then strain. Optional, 1-2 teaspoon of honey for taste. Avoid lemon slices or acidic add-ins. Keep to 1 cup. Why these herbs? Chamomile offers a gentle, calming aroma. Lemon balm has a soothing profile without citrus acidity. Rooibos brings body without caffeine. Together they make a warm, familiar signal to wind down. If you have allergies, especially to plants in the daisy family, are pregnant, breastfeeding, or on medications, consult a qualified clinician before trying any herbal infusion. This is educational guidance, not a medical prescription. When to drink it matters. Place the cup 60-90 minutes before your target bedtime. This fits the glide path you've practiced. Last larger drink around 90 minutes before bed, calm bathroom visit 30 minutes before, and a quiet final 15 minutes without topping off. If you had a late workout or dinner, keep the infusion portion small. The cue is warmth and ritual, not volume. Now deliver on the promised bonus, a map for a bladder-friendly 24 hours that you can adapt to your life. Think of it as scaffolding, not a cage. Morning, within 30-60 minutes of waking. A glass of still water, Breakfast with protein and fiber. If you enjoy coffee, have it now and keep refills reasonable. Late morning. Steady sips aligned with tasks and meals. If you crave fizz, place your sparkling water here. Early afternoon. Finish most of your day's fluids by mid-afternoon. If you like chocolate, this is a good window for a small square. Mid-afternoon. Caffeine cutoff to respect your sleep. Keep any diet sodas or kombucha for the daytime, not evening. Late afternoon. If you exercise after work, hydrate before and during the session using measured sips. Avoid a large bolus afterward. Evening meal. Choose a calmer flavor profile. Less tomato and vinegar, gentler spices, still water with the meal, and modest refills. After dinner. 1 cup boundary for beverages, dim lights, and keep screens at a distance. About 90 minutes before bed, finish any larger drink. About 30 minutes before bed, calm bathroom visit, low light, no phone. Last 15 minutes, no casual topping off, soft breathing, jaw relaxed. Overnight. If a mild urge appears early, try a 1-minute reset, 4 seconds in, 6 out, 3 rounds. If you truly need to go, do it once and return quietly. Stack a daytime micro-practice to retrain the reflex. 2 or 3 gentle, quick flicks of the pelvic floor when a mild, non-urgent urge appears during the day. Each contraction is about 1 second, followed by relaxed breathing. This is not about holding urine or creating strain. It's a way to tell the reflex, we're safe, so the signal doesn't escalate at night. If you have pelvic floor symptoms, pain, prolapse, or prostate concerns, ask for personalized guidance from a licensed clinician. What about the very bad thing hinted at earlier? Spoken plainly and without drama, if you ignore timing, volume, and irritants long-term, your brain can learn to expect wake-ups before the deepest sleep even has a chance. The consequence is a quiet form of sleep fragmentation that erodes morning energy, focus, and mood. It's not about blame, it's about patterns. The upside is powerful. With a week or 2 of consistent rhythm, many people notice longer first sleep stretches and easier returns to sleep after a bathroom visit. Keep safety in view. Frequent, painful, or new nighttime urination deserves a medical evaluation. Certain medications, sleep apnea, hormonal changes, urinary tract conditions, and metabolic disorders can play a role. Nothing here replaces care from a qualified clinician. Use these steps as educational tools you can test and discuss with your provider. Translate this into action tonight. Place your last larger drink 90 minutes before bed. Brew a single, small cup of the herbal infusion, 60-90 minutes before lights out. Make 1 calm bathroom visit 30 minutes before lying down. Leave phones and mirrors out of the routine and keep the total evening volume modest. During the day, aim for steady hydration earlier, a midday window for fizzy drinks, and a caffeine cutoff in early afternoon. Keep a simple log for 7 days and circle the combinations that feel best. You've built a practical, respectful approach to sleep that works with your biology instead of against it. When your nights grow quieter, mornings make more sense. Less chasing energy, more having it. If this guidance helps you, pass it forward. Share it with someone who wakes to use the bathroom. Leave a like so this information reaches more people, and subscribe for more practical, natural strategies grounded in everyday habits. Drop the words MAPA24H in the comments if a printable summary would help you stay on track. The next tip is among the most important. Ignoring it won't just limit your results. It may also create unintended side effects if you try to compensate in the wrong way. Treat it as essential guidance to keep progress safe and sustainable.